Hey guys, it's Tina, and I know you have all been asking for some tutorials on how to make graphics, and this has been a long time coming. We really cannot do all of what you can, we can't learn all of what you can do in one little video. So this is just one little project that I'm working on today, so I thought I would record it as I am doing the project. So PicMonkey is a web-based software. There is a free version, but there's a couple of different versions where you pay for different levels. What you get for the different payment packages are additional fonts and layers and different options, as well as a storage feature on their website. So explore those options. I would say, if you're making graphics on a regular basis, you're going to love all of the features that PicMonkey has with their top package. But start playing around with the free version and then decide from there. Also, I learned everything I needed to learn from PicMonkey and their tutorials, and also from other people like myself who use PicMonkey on a regular basis and have done videos and posted them on YouTube. So search and find some different things that you want to learn. So let's get started on a quick project. I'm going to go to edit. When I hover over the word edit, or I click on the word edit, it gives me 5 options. And so I'm going to choose computer because that's where I know the blank photo is that I downloaded and I want to edit. The hub is that online storage feature that PicMonkey offers. You can also integrate with your Facebook, and they'll show you some samples, and then there's some more options there. So we're going to go to computer, and you'll see some of my files here. And this, with the ice cream cone, I just double click it, and it will appear in a window where I can edit. So this particular image came from bigstockphoto.com. That is a website that costs money. You could probably find something you're happy with just a simple Google search and then click on images. Anything you see with a watermark that maybe says Shutterstock or Big Stock, those are images that you have to pay for to have the right to use them. So find something that is not watermarked if you're looking for something free. Now I want the words ice cream and your text removed from here. There are all kinds of options over here in this column, and right now I'm under the top option, which is basic edits. You can auto adjust if you want. I rarely do that. You can crop it, pick a canvas color, rotate your picture if it's not the right, if it's not rotated on the right way that you want to see it. Exposure, color, sharpen, and resize. There's really nothing I need from here, so I'm going to go to this little magic wand, which is the effects. So you'll see the effects here. Now, this is the top of the effects, and I ask you to really play with this because there's some fantastic effects here that can change the entire look of something that you're working on. Let's say I wanted this in black and white. I can just pick black and white, but I can also come back and I can add a pop of color somewhere. That's not what I'm going to work on, so I'm not going to spend any time teaching you that today. What I want to do is I want to remove these words. And so I'm going to go all the way to the bottom to the clone feature. So I'm going to click on clone. This is my brush size. And when I go over here, my brush size is going to be, I have a large area I can work with. And I'm really just going to pick up this background color of black. And I'm going to clone the black, which is going to cover this and make it go away. So I want my brush to be really big. All right, so I'm going to come over here and I want to click the background color I want to achieve. So see, I have left that little dot there, and I'm going to clone this. Now, if I was to happen to go over what used to be there as ice cream, look, you see now it's depositing it over there. Wherever that bullseye is, that target, that's where you're going to pick up and transfer that cloned background color. So I can erase it, or I can just hit apply and start over. Each time you want to move your tool over, you're going to have to pick up and move. So now I want to do this, but you see my target is going to move. And just because I've done this a few times, I know it can be frustrated. I'm just going to go ahead and apply and start over and make my brush really big. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to get my clone color. You can see I did it just slightly above. Now it's not going to pick up the word ice cream because you know what? It's not there anymore. So I'm just switching back and forth until I get all of that erased. I'm clicking on my mouse pad and dragging that to create that motion. Every time you lift up from your mouse pad, it will stop that action, and then you have to click on your mouse pad again to start a new action. If you don't like the previous action, you can simply go here and it will erase it. So now what I would like to do is add the font back in. Over here, this is my font tool. So I'm going to click the font tool. Now I have all of their fonts. Here's an example of some things that are only available if you have the paid version. So here, this crown, those are paid version. Also the new ones, I believe, are only the paid version. So some of the really cute things that you might want to use are in that paid version. And you can't blame them. I mean, everything in life can't be free. Somebody created this website and they've done a lot of hard work on it. And so the cost is minimal. One thing you can do though is you can go to dafont.com, that's DAFONT.com, and grab some free fonts and download them to your PC or your Mac. And you can then find them in yours instead of ours. And so here are some fonts that I've downloaded here recently that are on my computer. So I'm going to click here, add text. So what that's going to do is put a text box over on my document, on my project. And when I click inside the text box, you can see there's a cursor flashing over here on the far left. If I want it to be in the middle, I can change it to the middle. If I want it to be right-sided, I can change it there. I most often do a middle oriented text box. So now, this is going to be a leadership graphic, and there's quite a bit of font in here for a graphic. And so let me just type out what I want this to say. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Okay, so you can see it has a default size rectangle, but I can change that. I can make it all one line. I can move this anywhere I need to, but first I need to click off of the text box so that it is not highlighted. And now you can see the little crosshairs here. I can move it anywhere I want. Now I'm moving it down here and the font is black, which now I can't see. So let's choose a font color for this. I really love this bright green. And instead of trying to match it here, you can click on this box, then you get this little eyedropper effect. So wherever you hover your eyedropper with your mouse, don't click it until you know the color you want. Just hover. Maybe I want pink or this caramel color. No, I think I like the green. So I want it to be bright green, and I click it and now it's bright green. And I can spread this out. I'm clicking and dragging this and spreading it out. And you can also move this little help box out of the way if it's in your view. Now let's try to play with some fonts, okay? What do we think about this one? Ooh, that's hard to read. What about that? Oh, that's really hard to read. Noteworthy, that's pretty friendly. Let's go over to the PicMonkey fonts because there are some really good. I love Quicksand. It's just really easy to read. It's not too bold. And it's a really good font for when you have a big statement like this. Okay, so how is this related to ice cream? That's where my next statement is going to be, all right? So I can, if I want it to be just like this in the same color and the same font, I can right click on that box and I will see several options. One of them is duplicate text. going to give me the exact same thing. Well, you may ask, well, you just did that. Why are you doing that? It's just easy because the color is already selected and so is the font. And I can click on it. It will highlight. And I can do my next sentence. So the gist of this graphic is if you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Sell ice cream, okay? That will make everybody happy because everyone loves ice cream. All right, so let's make, because this is just really a small sentence, it could handle a really fun font. Just for instructional purposes, I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to show you how you make this really big. So here's the size bar. You can go small, or you can go really, really big on this. I like that. Ooh. I'm clicking and dragging. Sometimes your finger sticks to your mouse pad and it shifts a little bit. You see these numbers here? This is the size of that font. If you wanted to duplicate that font size in something else, you could just type in the number and it would come up after you hit enter. These are things that we're not going to be using, but like if I wanted it to be backwards so it would, show, let's say I was doing a window decal and I needed it to stick from the inside of a window or the outside of the window, you might want it to be backwards. If you wanted it upside down, I don't know why you would want those, but that's how you do it. Okay, so let's delete this because I want to show you this feature here. This is the undo button. I didn't mean to delete that. So all I have to do is hit that button and I can hit it several times to go back to one of the times that I've had a mistake to undo. All right, so this right here is your layers palette. Layers comes in really handy if you have a graphic with a lot of different individual edits. So you see I have two text boxes and I have my background. You're not going to see your clone on here because that was kind of not a layer, it was an edit. So if you have a lot of different layers and shapes and things that are on your graphic, sometimes when you go to pick them up, you might pick up the wrong thing because sometimes these text boxes will be really close together and you think you're picking up one, but you're not, you're picking up the other. So the layer box comes in handy because you can say, I really just want to pick up this text box or that text box or a different layer. That really doesn't apply to this graphic because the graphic is very simple. Okay, so let's go back to Sell Ice Cream font because I want to show you some different effects that you can do with this. Let's say we want it to really pop off the page and we want to bring in another color. You can go to, there are two options here, Style or Curve. Curve is awesome, especially if you're doing something that you're trying to place in one of those really curved banners. You can curve your text. You can make it a circle if you want, whatever you like. Okay, so you go back to Style. Let's see. Here's a good example of why I want to go back and undo my button. Okay, so Style. I want to do a drop shadow, but I want the color to not be black, obviously, because a drop shadow in black on a black background is not going to help me at all. I'm going to grab my little eyedropper tool. I'm going to find a pink. Now, you're not seeing this very much, but if you change your distance, you can gradually see how that pink, and see this is changing the green and where it goes, where the drop shadow is falling on that font. It's pretty fun. Okay, you can also fade the font. I really think that needs to be the brighter pink. It's not showing up much, so you know what? I'm just going to go with white because I know white is going to pop off the page. All right, so now I think I would like to add my logo on there because, this is something I'm going to be sharing with my team, and I want them to identify that. So we go to this butterfly. This is all things overlay. This is where you can really get sucked in and spend a ton of time on a project. I'm going to grab my own logo. It's located in my computer, in my desktop, under the co-op logos, and I'm going to grab this one. It's going to be really big when it deposits it. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the white background. I don't need that one. Let's try this again. I want the one that is transparent. Here we go. All right, see, it's transparent on the background, but I don't like those colors, and I definitely don't like this size. So I'm going to shrink it down by grabbing the corners and pulling down. I'm going to move it over here into the top corner. I want it to just kind of be like, you know, it's our graphic, but not like in your face. All right, so I don't love those colors. Those are my stock colors. I'm going to change it to white, and I'm going to fade it. So it's just like a little watermark. Okay. Now I also could color match, but because this one is was created by a graphics artist, it's not going to be exactly the color. It's just going to be a variation of the color, which I think is fine. You could always move it like on top of something you're already doing. You can put it behind the projects you've already done. So like if I want it to be behind everything, let's say I can stretch it bigger and I want it to be kind of the backdrop of this whole font, not on top of it, then I double click and I'm going to say send to the back. And it's hard to tell because this is all a lot of the same colors, but let's change it to white. I want to show you guys. Let's make it bright. I want to show you guys the difference. Okay, so let's bring it to the front. You see how it's now on top of those letters? Moving it just so you can see it better. I'm going to send it to the back. So now that just brought the green font back up. Okay. And I can fade that out so it's still more like a watermark. Okay. I don't love that. Just going to shrink it back down. And sometimes I don't even put my logo on these because they just don't fit. And I might just decide to do that with this one too. Okay. Yep, I think it's got to go. It's just in the way. So anyway, if you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Sell ice cream. This is a powerful statement. All right, let's say I want to put a frame around it because I'm going to put this in a newsletter. I can go here and do a drop shadow frame. See this frame? The background color is white. I can make it larger so that maybe it needs to pop off of a page somewhere. Or I can color match it, and if I want to make it that same green, I can color match it to the font, or I can show you guys. There's a way you can copy the color of the font. So let me cancel this because I want to show you. If I go back to this green font, you see this color here? This is the color code. If you highlight it and then copy it, it's saved to your clipboard. So when you go over and you want to do a frame the exact color, you just copy and paste and hit enter, and now you've got that same color. So there are a couple of different ways of getting that color duplicated, and I hope that will help you. So anyway, I'm getting a call. Let me just call them later. Okay. So I'm going to apply this, and then I'm going to save it. If you have the paid version, you have access to the hub. That's the online, because I may want to edit this later, and it keeps it active. If you close this, you can't go back and undo anything, but keeping it in the hub means that I can add to it later. Let's say I decided, yeah, I think I do want my logo on there, and I don't like that frame. I can go back and I don't have to recreate the graphic. I can just go in. It's an active project. So after this feeds the hub, I'm going to export it to my computer. I can also get the app on my smartphone. I have an iPhone, and I can get the PicMonkey app. And if I'm on the go, I can create graphics, put them in the hub, and then from anywhere, I can access the hub from my app, from PicMonkey, and I can save graphics to my phone and then upload them on any of my social media platforms. So one of the things I love about PicMonkey are all their fun words. They just have named everything kind of off the wall, weird names. This is launching the knuckleplexer. Basically, it's just getting my graphic ready to save, but it's kind of entertaining. So I'm going to export to my computer. I don't want it in co-op logos. I'm just going to put it in my downloads for now. All right, so now I can go over to Facebook and into my business group, which is where this video is going to go as well. And I'm going to type out, this is a powerful statement. Let this sink in a bit. And I'm going to click photos, go to all my files. I may have actually grabbed the wrong one because I'm in a hurry. Got to return a phone call. We'll see. Nope, it's the right one. Nope, it's the wrong one. That's the original one from, let's go to downloads. We saved it as ice cream. I can search, there we go. More than one way to do this. I'm saying, where are my yellow leaders? Because as a yellow personality, and if you don't know what the color personalities are, you really need to check into it. Where are my yellow leaders? They're the ones, because I'm yellow and I can admit this, we're the ones that want to keep everyone happy. So I hit post, and now that is live in my business group. Okay. All right, so that concludes this little lesson on PicMonkey. I'm going to exit here. I'll show you, I can go to edit and hub, and I want to show you how that is right here. And I just double click it and I can edit it again. If I don't save it to the hub, I can't do this. Now, it's not that important on some of these quick graphics like this, but if you are working with, say, some of the class graphics like this one, let's say you have a class graphic you're working on and you constantly have to change the date, the time, the address, all that kind of stuff. You can store the blank invitation in your hub, and then your fonts and your colors and everything's already set. You just change the important information on the graphic. All right, I hope this has helped you guys, and hopefully we'll get some more videos cranked out like this, and you can learn more about how to use PicMonkey and other graphics editing software.